Top of the morning folks, today from the Reddit Rainforest. What funny/embarrassing things have you seen during a presentation? I had a friend who was very shy. She started a video presentation. When some softcore naked people started, she screamed, turned it off and started crying. I found out later it was intentional. She just had not finished her presentation and needed a way out. Work too, since the teacher let her do it later. Back in college, about 3 years ago, one of my fellow students was giving a presentation to our class of about 25 people. To be honest, I do not really remember what his speech was about, but he had a short video clip to support his argument at the end. With the professor's laptop and projector set up at the front of the room, the student inserts his USB flash drive. He proceeds to click play and walks to go to dim the classroom lights for maximum visibility. He wanted to make sure there was no glare for students in the back of the room. The movie starts and slowly fades from black dot. Then it begins. Moaning. A naked girl is on the screen pleasuring herself. The presenter now realizes he just clicked on the wrong file and scurries to the computer to quickly shut down the video, simultaneously saying "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god" about 17 times. I remembered looking around and everyone was in complete shock as to what was happening. The presenter finally gets the movie to close out and does not say a word as he heads straight to his desk in embarrassment. The class uproars in laughter and the professor, an elderly man in his 70s, who had not said a thing as this unfolded, now chuckles and says, "I need a copy of that after class." This happened to my mom because she borrowed my dad's flash drive and he had a bunch of naked people on it apparently. During a presentation in nursing school, in front of about 75 people, naked people started popping up. My mom was crying when she got home. I felt bad. That was probably not the best week for your dad either. A kid in one of my human resource classes cited The Onion during a presentation. Guy in my class was giving a presentation and there was a video playing. It was some boring presentation about transistors. But halfway through it there suddenly popped up a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger posing nude with his hips pushed outwards and his penis was censored by a machine gun. The guy had no idea what was going on. Also at the end of the presentation there was a samurai who stabbed himself repeatedly in the stomach. That was one hell of a presentation. And this is why you always watch videos before you include a link. Boys and girls. Yup. Learn from his mistake. He said he only listened to the audio on YouTube and it sounded good, so he added it. Never bothered to watch the video. I was in a car accident on the way to giving a presentation in class. I felt good enough to decline an ambulance ride, and I did not want to deal with rescheduling the presentation. But my head did not feel quite right. Fast forward an hour. I'm in the middle of my speech in front of the class when I start leaking brain juice out of my nose. It literally filled my cupped hands with clear fluid, and I just stood there not knowing what to do before stammering I had an accident. I'll never forget the looks of horror. In a high school senior level government class, we were tasked to find a political cartoon, research it, and present it to the class. This cheerleader found some incredibly offensive cartoon from www.nazi_monthly.com or some equally horrible site. Their cartoon depicted two armed guards standing under an Auschwitz sign having some horrible conversation. I cannot remember exactly, but it involved the cost of ovens and bullets or something. Anyway, she gave a 10-minute presentation on how it was a political commentary on global warming because there were smokestacks in the background. It was unbelievable the teacher did not stop her mid-presentation. I had the pleasure of following that train wreck. I took a specialized programming class in college with only 7 people in it. There was this girl in the class who was kind of cute, but never bathed. For context, she wore a motion capture suit that smelled so bad afterwards. It was dry cleaned twice and eventually had to be thrown out. Anyways, final project presentation day comes, and when it gets to her turn she opens this PowerPoint about World of Warcraft. Our class has nothing to do with WoW. She then delivers an hour-long presentation about how she is addicted to WoW, and she did not have time to do any schoolwork, but oddly had time to make this presentation. She cried through the whole things. Our prof had no idea what to do. After she sat down, she just cried in the back while everyone else did their projects. One time in history class during high school we were reading as a class. When my turn came up I pronounced Jesus and his Gentiles as Jesus and his genitals. I had a friend in high school that was finishing up an English paper during a study hall, the period before it was due. He finished it up and left to go to the bathroom, then came back and printed it out. Unbeknownst to him, This other guy changed the final sentence of the paper while he was in the bathroom. The final sentence ended up being something like, "And that's why I like anal sex," or "sticking my dick in tight assholes." The teacher commented on it saying he had one hell of a clincher in his paper. Sadly, I was not present in the class when it happened, but a few of my friends as well as the poor victim told me. The victim being my friend who is gay and went to show our presentation in front of the class. No idea the sizes, I was not in this class. He tells his work partner the video is in some folder. Guy clicks wrong folder and bam, hardcore gay naked people starts playing. I still do not understand why people need naked people on their USB/external. At least lock the folder or something. One day in my middle school biology class, a girl was doing a presentation about single-celled organisms ... or single-celled orgasms as she called them. She screwed that up 3 or 4 times, and it was increasingly funny each time. Our teacher was laughing too, so there was no stopping it. And the presenter was so embarrassed that after a few times, we'd know when she was approaching the word on her note cards, because she would take a pause to try her hardest to not say orgasm again. You just reminded me of this one skit we had in one of my Spanish classes. One girl was supposed to say Podamus montecabalus. We can mount ride horses. Instead, she said Podamus montecabalus. We can mount gentlemen. Most of the class was unfazed by this. But the teacher, and I caught it. I took it in stride for the most part. But she had to work really hard to hold in her laughter until we were all done. We did PowerPoints for a class once, and we had to hook our own laptops up because the room had a portable projector but no computer. This one guy who rarely bathes and was usually lecherous plugged his in, and his desktop was an anon pic of a naked purple-haired girl who looked pretty underaged, getting tentacle raped. Totally unfazed, he took his sweet time finding the right folder while giving the ladies ... look. He later was expelled for having hidden a camera in the shower room in his *dorm and recording girls in there. Started doing I.T in the final year of school and were getting a presentation about how to change the hosts file on our computer. Our teacher was a particularly old-fashioned anal teacher who used to yell at us for no reason and generally keep the entire class in pin drop silence. So he opens his computer, yells at a kid telling him his life is a failure and has not going to get into university, and to embarrass him makes him come to the front to demonstrate where to find the hosts file. He goes up and clicks a folder on the teacher's comp called System Files. Inside are pictures of a stag night he attended, with the first picture being him in a naughty nurse's outfit made out of 100% leather with a plastic vagina in one hand and chocolate sauce in the other. To sum it up, strict teacher tries to embarrass student, ends up showing pictures of himself in drag. Embarrassing. I got that on lock. I took a class in philosophy wherein each student had to give a 15-minute presentation at the start of the 2-hour class on the reading prior at least once. Having done all the readings up to that point and understanding their difficulty of presentation as being moderately low, and having been overly confident in my speech ability, I put off doing the reading or preparing the presentation until roughly 2 hours before the actual time to hit the podium in front of a class of about 100. The moment I opened my book to start the reading, I realized it was easily the toughest yet conceptually to explain, as it was fairly nuanced, and I began to panic. Having scrabbled together what I thought would be a decent presentation, I slinked off to class and got in behind the podium. About 3 minutes in, I realized I did not know what the duck I was talking about, and I could see the confused looks on my classmates. Cue sweaty palms/balls full on panic mode. My professor stood up and started talking to me, but her voice started to sound like the adults/teachers from Charlie Brown. The room began to spin, and I blacked out. I woke up with about 7 people standing over me. Apparently, I was speaking complete indescribable gibberish for about 30 seconds. I understood what I was saying in my head, but no one else did, because I was not speaking words, and it took my professor standing up and stopping the class before they would stop me from my continuing mouth dribble. When I blacked out, I face-planted into the front of the podium and whiplashed back down with crumpled knees. No idea what caused it. A girl was doing a presentation on Holodomor, a cranian famine in the 1930s. She had her infographic that she had downloaded from somewhere, but she had not read the entire graphic. It turns out that she got the graphic from an anti-Semitic website, and the graphic was basically blaming the famine on Jews. It just had a couple of facts that she noticed and wanted in the presentation, and she did not bother to read the rest. The professor was Jewish, so he flipped out. She left the room in tears once he was done screaming at her. I did not see her again. I do not think she passed. In my aircraft performance class, a kid was giving a presentation of some early jet and mentioning how the ejector seat would malfunction and activate when it was not supposed to, but his words came out. The ejaculation seat had a problem of going off prematurely. The night before I gave a presentation, my ex changed the background on my computer to a nude picture of herself in a sexy pose and shut down my computer. So, I go into the class, hook up the projector, and start up my computer. Up pops the picture of her fully exposed on screen for the entire class to see. Oh, I forgot to mention, she was in the class and sitting in the front row. She thought I did it on purpose. If you are reading this, you made it until the end of the video. There is no more after this. Click the thumbs up button since you made it until the end. On screen there should be some more videos similar to this. So either go do something else or watch another video. That's it. I do not know why you are still here. ... What are you waiting for, a secret message or something? Okay ... This is not a secret, but subscribe for more edit videos like this.